Both Alma and Louise and Clara and Javier learned valuable lessons about the importance of vulnerability and open communication in relationships. These couples rediscovered the intimacy that had been lost and rebuilt their emotional connections through honest dialogue. Here are the key takeaways. Vulnerability is key. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but it's actually one of the most powerful tools in building intimacy. When Alma shared her feelings with Louise, she created a space for both of them to be honest and open, which helped reignite their relationship. Similarly, Clara's willingness to open up to Javier allowed them to explore each other's needs and desires in a safe and supportive way. Communication is the foundation. Open and honest communication is the cornerstone of any strong relationship. Have you ever felt the intimacy in your relationship fading over time? Many couples experience this as the initial spark of passion diminishes under the pressures of everyday life. Alma and Louise, along with Clara and Javier, are two couples who faced this very challenge. Their relationships, once filled with passion and connection, grew distant as the responsibilities of raising children, work, and daily routines took over. But here's the question: is it possible to reignite that spark, no matter how long you've been together? In this story, we explore the heartfelt journeys of Alma and Louise, Clara and Javier, who embarked on a path of rediscovery, vulnerability, and renewal. Through open communication and deep connection, they learned how to transform their relationships and rediscover the intimacy that once defined their love. By the end of this video, you'll uncover powerful insights and tips that could help you revive the intimacy in your own relationships. Alma and Louise's journey, from routine to reconnection. Alma and Louise had been married for 15 years. Their lives were a whirlwind of daily duties, from managing the demands of their children to juggling their jobs. Amidst the chaos, the intimacy they once shared began to fade. The love was still there, but life's relentless grind took away the space for connection. One day, Alma stumbled upon an article discussing the transformative power of open communication in relationships. It spoke about how vulnerability and transparency could reignite intimacy and strengthen emotional bonds. Alma felt a spark of hope and decided to take action. She planned a romantic dinner for Louise, setting the stage for a meaningful conversation. When Louise walked into their home that evening, he was greeted by a candle-lit table and a warm, inviting atmosphere. Alma, radiant with joy, had prepared a beautiful dinner. After enjoying the meal, they sat together on the sofa, and Alma courageously shared her feelings. She spoke of the loneliness she had been experiencing and the longing for the closeness they once shared. Louise was taken aback, but he felt a deep sense of gratitude for Alma's honesty. He too had been struggling with the growing distance between them and confessed that he longed for a deeper connection. This exchange opened the door to an intimate and honest conversation, where both partners expressed their desires, fears, and needs. The couple realized that open communication was the key to reconnecting. They promised to prioritize each other, carving out time to rekindle their intimacy. Their renewed commitment to emotional honesty and vulnerability brought them closer than ever, igniting a flame that had been dimming for years. Clara and Javier's story, rediscovering each other's hearts. Clara and Javier had been married for a decade. Their journey had been filled with joy, but as time went on, the responsibilities of raising children and managing demanding careers created distance between them. The once vibrant spark of their relationship became a distant memory. Clara missed the emotional and physical connection they had shared in the past, and she decided to take matters into her own hands. Determined to rekindle the intimacy in their marriage, Clara dove into research about relationships, love, and communication. She came across a book that resonated deeply with her, emphasizing the importance of open communication and mutual respect in nurturing intimacy. Inspired, Clara decided to talk to Javier about her feelings. One evening, after putting their children to bed, Clara invited Javier to sit with her on the sofa. She shared her feelings of longing for the connection they had lost over time. At first, Javier was surprised by Clara's openness, but as they talked, he realized that he had also felt a distance between them. He had been unsure how to express his own needs, but Clara's vulnerability made him feel safe enough to open up. This conversation became the foundation for their renewed intimacy. They made a commitment to explore new ways to reconnect, both emotionally and physically. To deepen their bond, Clara and Javier planned a weekend getaway, leaving their children with their grandparents. This time away was a chance to rediscover each other without the distractions of daily life. During the weekend, they spent time talking about their desires, dreams, and fantasies. One evening under the stars, Clara asked Javier what he would like to try in their intimacy. Javier confessed that he had always yearned for a deeper emotional and physical connection, but had never felt comfortable expressing it. This conversation opened the floodgates for both of them to explore their desires and insecurities. Through vulnerability and understanding, Clara and Javier realized that intimacy was not just about physical connection, but about sharing their deepest selves with one another. Without it, couples may feel disconnected, even if they still love each other. Alma and Louise learned that by communicating their feelings and desires openly, they could rebuild the emotional intimacy that had been lost. Clara and Javier discovered that by talking about their hopes and insecurities, they could create a deeper, more fulfilling connection. Taking action is crucial. It's one thing to recognize that intimacy has faded, but it's another to take proactive steps to reignite it. Alma and Louise took action by planning a romantic dinner, and Clara and Javier revitalized their relationship with a weekend getaway. These actions, though small, were meaningful gestures that helped bring their relationships back to life. Intimacy is multifaceted. Intimacy isn't just about physical connection, it's about emotional closeness, shared vulnerability, and mutual respect. As Alma and Louise discovered, intimacy deepens when couples are willing to explore not just their physical needs, but also their emotional desires. Clara and Javier learned that emotional intimacy is just as important as physical connection. Commitment to growth. Relationships require ongoing effort. Both couples realized that their intimacy wasn't something that could be rekindled overnight. It was a journey of continuous growth and mutual respect. By committing to prioritize their relationships and nurturing their emotional and physical connection, Alma and Louise and Clara and Javier were able to create stronger, more fulfilling bonds. Conclusion: what we can learn from these stories. The stories of Alma, Louise, Clara and Javier serve as powerful reminders that relationships require effort, communication and vulnerability. Intimacy is not a one-time achievement, but an ongoing journey that requires both partners to actively nurture and explore. By sharing their experiences and being open about their desires and struggles, these couples were able to rediscover the love and connection they had thought was lost. If you're in a relationship and feel like the spark has dimmed, don't despair. Take a moment to reflect on your own communication with your partner. Be brave enough to express your feelings and create space for open, honest conversations. Reignite the flame by exploring new ways to connect, emotionally and physically. With patience, understanding, and mutual respect, you can rekindle the intimacy in your own relationship and create a deeper, more fulfilling connection. Thank you for joining us on this journey of rediscovery. If you found these stories inspiring, leave a comment below sharing what you've learned and how you plan to implement it in your own relationship. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more insightful content on love, intimacy and connection.